What's up, everybody? I am live. I just wanted to kind of go live. Hopefully, some people will come in here. We'll get a little chat going. It's been crazy. What's going on in the world is crazy, and we might sometimes forget or not know what to do about how to live in this world, especially as believers. So I'm gonna wait a couple seconds, and I'm gonna drive home. And if nobody gets in here, then maybe we'll do it another time. But I wanted to kind of talk to everybody about how to handle the climate that we're in as believers, man. Because there's a couple of different ways that we could take it. Where lies become truth and truth becomes lies, and you can get to the point where you're just like, what the heck, man? What in the world am I? How do I handle this? I don't. You can start to feel like you're a little crazy. So we're gonna let some people come in here, and for those of you who may be watching this later, who have seen or watching it later, thank you guys for checking the video out. But we can think that we're got a handle on things, but when you start to look at like how the atmosphere is, and that right is wrong and wrong is right, and how when you talk to people that are quote unquote liberals or progressives more so, and you talk to them and you start to see like how backwards things are. You start to see how backwards things are and how weird and crazy, and like you start to think, am I the crazy one? Truth is no longer true anymore. And what's up, Rebel Babe Connor? Truth is no longer true anymore. And you wonder, like, what the heck, man? You see things that are plain as day, and then you talk to somebody else who is under the spell of the progressive left, under the spell of the enemy, I would say, and you can see the same exact thing, and they're going to tell you the exact opposite of what you see, and you feel like, well, am I nuts? And because you have a relationship with God, because you have a relationship with the truth, you're not nuts. So then you get frustrated and you're like, you know what? I give up. I don't even want to talk to nobody. I'm not going to even have anything to do with them. You kind of want to go on an island and get away from everybody. But the problem is that we are also mandated by God to preach the gospel, to live for truth, to stand for truth in the midst of the darkness. If all the light goes away from the dark places, then everything is dark. And what about the people that may be on the fence? What about the people that may be, contemplating, but they don't know which way to choose? And if the truth is not spoken out and fought for, then their literal eternal lives can be lost. You got this whole thing with Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett is still right now denying that it was a hoax, and the evidence is right there. The evidence is right there. They do need to turn the TV off. They do need to turn it off, but the evidence is right there, right? And it's crazy. The whole thing with Brett Kavanaugh. Total obvious, should be obvious. We shouldn't, demean this man before there's any evidence. And we're all looking at the same thing. The craziest thing that just happened recently was those kids in Washington, where the Native American guy walked up to him, and we all saw the same tape. But I'm going to tell you what this is. If you've seen that frustration, you understand that frustration I'm talking about. What's up, Lee? What's going on, bro? Just decided to do a little live thing here to see who would come on. We got 6 people in the room. That's cool. But what we're dealing with, and let's make no mistakes about it. If you are a Christian, if you're a believer, if you're a Christocrat, you got to understand that we are dealing with a spirit. This is a spirit that has been unleashed in these last times that God said was going to happen. The Bible said was going to happen, where it's a deceptive spirit, where the people that you talk to are blinded. They're blinded, and to where right is wrong and wrong is right, and because you speak truth that everybody normally used to know to be truth, because you speak it, now all of a sudden you're the evil one, and you're the one that's speaking evil. Well, how do we deal with this? How do we handle it? Well, first of all, we got to remember who our enemy really is. Those people are not our enemies. You got that right. They're the Decepticons. You got to remember, we are not fighting against flesh and blood. We're not fighting against these people. I had a guy on my Facebook page arbitrarily come to my page and try to arrogantly drop a article basically saying that if you support Trump or you support conservative ways, that you are mentally ill. You have mental issues. And this dude, like, put it on there as if he was doing me a favor. He says, here, I'm gonna drop this right here. Maybe this will help you. And I was like, what? You know, and so I got mad. You know, I normally don't get mad. I'm sorry about the you know, I'm trying to make sure it does right. I got mad. I was like, you know, and I let him have it. And sometimes you gotta be fiery, and you gotta let things go. You gotta let it fly, you know, and let people know what the truth is. Jesus did it. You know, the disciples did it on occasion. We gotta let the people know what the truth is. So how do you deal with it? How do we deal with it? First of all, we gotta remember that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. It's not them who we're fighting against. It's the spirit behind them. Number two, we gotta make sure that we are mentally equipped, that we know our stuff. That we, on all the major issues, you know what the Bible says about it. You know why, you know, a unborn child has rights. You know why it is not right. It's not morally correct to tax, you know, 90%. Why that's morally incorrect. You got to know why, you know, you have rights. You know where they come from. You got to know this stuff. And if you know this stuff, then you're not so nervous, you're not so frustrated when you're talking to him, because you know what you're talking about. So number one, know who your enemy is. Number two, don't be uneducated. Educate yourself on why you believe what you believe. And trust me, for us on the right, it's called the right for a reason, because we're correct in how we think on these issues. And God backs us up. So that's that. And then lastly, what you need to do is you need to sometimes just turn the news off and enjoy life. Enjoy those around you. Don't take the stuff more serious than you ought to. Man, Lee, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. We're gonna do something together soon. Thank you for the super chat. That was awesome. And you know, I appreciate you, brother. Our channels are gonna grow, homie. Our channels are going to grow. But we need to realize that we've already won this battle. We've already won this battle. This battle's already won. We just have to live it out. And we got to be brave enough to speak the truth in love. Those two things have to be paramount. You've got to be motivated to debate these people because you love them. You love them in spite of their stupidity, right? You know, it's like when you have a little child. And don't mean to call people children, but they kind of act like children. But when you have a little child who, you know, is sticking their finger in the socket, you smack them, their hand after a while, because you love them, right? Now, I'm not talking about the elites. I'm not talking about the people that are orchestrating everything. A lot of times those people are too far gone, reprobates. I'm talking about the everyday people that think that you're evil because you are a Republican, or you voted for Trump, or you wear a MAGA hat, or anything like that, who are normally normal people, but they've allowed themselves to get caught up in this hurricane of stupidity. Yeah, let's do that, man. Let's do that. Offline, I'll exchange email. Even I'll give you my number, man. You can text me. You know, because it's about a movement together. And I really appreciate that super chat, man. That's awesome. So listen. Remember who you're fighting against. Make sure that you as a believer are, you know, in your word, you're in church, you're surrounded by other like-minded people to build you up. Number two, you know your stuff. Know your stuff, and that way you'll be confident in what you're talking about. Number three, turn the TV off sometimes. I think that's someone calling me, but I'm going to leave it off. Turn the TV off. And then the last thing I would say is, that you're fighting from victory, not for victory. You're fighting from victory. And God has already won the battle for you. So there's a couple little to help you navigate through these crazy times that we're living in, where right is wrong and wrong is right. Hold fast to the truth no matter what happens. That's why the Bible tells us that we need to hide the word in our heart, because in these last days it's going to be hard to really decide what is right and what's not right, because they will tell you that what you see in front of your own eyes is not what you saw. So I love you guys so much. Appreciate it. We're going to build this movement. I'm going to be coming out with some t-shirts. If you want to join this Christocratic movement or let your light shine, I'm going to bring some t-shirts out that we can kind of just do it. You know, having ideas, man, you know, that we can rally together as believers, because we as believers, and it's always been like that throughout history. We have the answers. And it's time, I believe, in the next 6 years, 5.5, 6 years, however God gives us, and we just do this. And, you know, I envision conferences and rallying together of all races under the banner of Christ, giving out truths that pertain to politics, because politics determines how we live, believe it or not. So yeah, that's what that is. And I got some t-shirts coming out. I've got one that's going to say Kingdom Over Culture, and that'll be dope. And then I have the other one that says a Christocrat. Believe it or not, Christocratic thought goes all the way back to the Constitution, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, with Benjamin Rush. Check him out. So love you guys. Y'all have a good night. And there might be some other news that might come on. I might come back and do it again. All right, love you guys. Remember, love God, hate sin. We're not left, we're not right, but we're up. Share this video, like, subscribe.